So right now I'm sitting at 11,330 feet. And yes, it is harder to breathe up here. But gorgeous, gorgeous views. Of course, the question is not if I made it. The question is, how did I get here? For that, we're not going to start right here. We're going to start a little bit earlier. About a mile into the trail, this is just the beginning. Pretty steep one, and I'm still getting in shape due to my back injury. And as such, I packed as light as I could. My goal was to come in at 30 pounds, and actually I came in at 34 pounds. So 4 pounds over where I needed to be or where I wanted to be. A lot of that has to do with camera, tripod, batteries, and actually I got another camera. A lot of that gear adds up quite quickly. This isn't exactly how I got here either. This isn't the beginning. We're actually going to go back 2 years ago. Next, I'm just doing a little bit of scouting. There's a couple of peaks up this trail that I want to hit. Not going to do it today. He said, hey, there's a rattlesnake up there. We ran it off so it's away from the trail. I know there's rattlesnakes, but I've never run into them. Feels like home when you're up here, doesn't it? Oh man, this is something else. Check it. Oh man, I can barely contain myself. I want to hit those peaks right now. There's a saddle right here, I guess, and then you come up the top. Man, I'm getting really excited. I want to hit that peak so bad. Patience. Patience, patience, patience. Scouting portion is done. Man, they're just calling to me, I'll tell you. Yeah, that's definitely one I gotta get under my belt. I wanted to make camp before nightfall. I think I'll accomplish that. I'm pretty much there. I just need to find a spot. I need to decide if I want to do kind of close to the water or a little bit away from the water. We'll see. Maybe tonight I'll just find a spot and call it good. But look at that. Isn't that something? You know, I've been here before, 2 years ago. It just doesn't get old to me. That was such a tough hike for me. I had to take my shirt off and try and let it dry before I sleep tonight. It's just soaked with sweat. And I didn't bring any other clothes. If I go to bed with a wet shirt, I'm likely to get cold. I kind of sleep cold. But look at this. So here's my tarp. I'm just going to set up right around here somewhere. There's my bag. That is the Badlands Sacrifice. And of course I've got the Ribs front pack over there. But gentlemen and ladies, This is my hotel for the night. Check that out, isn't that gorgeous? Whew. The only bad thing about being here that I hope I don't regret later is, again, water is a little bit over there, so it's not going to be convenient by any means, but I'll deal with it. Alright guys, we're getting dinner here going, and as soon as I get this to a point where I can eat, we're going to have a little chat about something I just learned. As you can see, I went with the tarp shelter this time. I did not bring the tent because I'm trying to save some weight for my back, and this is the lesson I learned. It was a hell of a time getting this tarp up, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I'm keeping it real. I could say, oh yeah, I put it up in 5 minutes. No, I was having a tough time this time. And the reason is I got up and I was just so tired, I didn't want to make wood stakes. You see I've got the one there. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just not going to make the stakes. There's enough rocks around here that I can utilize the rocks instead. And bug on my face. And it did not work at all. In fact, it got to the point where I just get frustrated. So I admitted defeat, and I went back to the way I know that works, and that is just cutting stakes and putting those in the ground. So stakes is definitely the way to go when you're doing something like this. I just got lazy and was trying to cut corners. That's about what it amounts to, instead of doing the way that I knew I should have. So anyway, all right, in the morning, or maybe later tomorrow, depends, I will show you the setup. You've seen it before, but I have changed it a little bit. Boy, I'm tired. I can barely think. The plan tomorrow is this. I'm going to go down to the river, get some water, and that's where I'm going to have breakfast. I'll show you guys around the beautiful, beautiful little meadow, little bowl, little valley, whatever you want to call it, that I'm in. It is gorgeous. And we'll just kind of have breakfast down there by the river after I filter some water. And we'll hit that peak first thing in the morning. I want to do it early just in case a storm rolls through. I don't think one is going to. It's not supposed to. But I'd rather get up there in the morning and get down just in case. It ought to be a fun trip. And I am going to get some sleep. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Just rolled out of bed, and that was by far the warmest night I have ever spent out up here in the Rockies in this type of elevation. It was it was very, very warm. In fact, half the night I spent outside the sleeping bag. It was really that warm. But okay, let me show you the tarp setup that I have going on here. So the way I've changed this is I hated making a whole bunch of stakes for it. And the reason that is by the time I'm done hiking in, I'm pretty tired, and it's one less thing that I really want to be doing. So what I did is I'm bringing 3 sides of the tarp. You can see there's 1, 2, and 3. So 1 goes up to this side, and then the second one comes straight from this corner, and then the other one comes from this other corner. And I've pretty much duplicated that on every side, so now I don't have as many stakes that I have to make. But you can see my rock here. I was just trying to cut corners, and it just did not work until I bucked up and
Did it right the first time. You can see that side right there. That's what we're looking at inside. Oh, and you know, while I'm thinking about it, I've got one of those, I bought a new mattress. It's one of the blow-up kind, and I wanted a little more comfort at night. It's more weight, certainly, which is the opposite direction that I'm trying to go, but I thought it would be worth it to get a good night's sleep. And you can see this side right there. That one, there's this little dead tree right there, so I just decided to use that and tie it to there. This is where I'm camped. Loving it. So we're gonna go out this morning. I'm gonna get some water, have a little breakfast, and then we'll hit the peak first thing this morning. There's my food. I did hang that up in the trees. Not so much for a bear bag as it is for squirrels. There's not really bear in this area. At least I haven't heard a bear in this area for I don't know how long. So I'm not terribly concerned about that. But I don't want to take off and those squirrely little squirrels get my food. This has got to be one of the most picturesque little canyons that I've ever been in. I remember the first time I came up here and just came through, I was amazed at how beautiful it was when I came up over this corner and saw this. I need to do some filtering water, and they're right where I need to go, so I might have to run them off.